Hi Aries, welcome to your end of October 2019 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. So you're just coming off of a full moon in your sign, and at the end of this month you're going to have a new moon in your 8th house in Scorpio, and that can be very advantageous for anything involving I don't know, perhaps an inheritance or shared resources in general. So if you've been trying to get, kind of connect with another person, either business-wise or in your marriage, of really like getting a handle on things or some kind of a new direction. And this can also be great for metaphysical studies as well. I had the Page of Cups, and that's associated with Pisces. There's probably, although maybe the Queen of Cups would be even more apropos for that type of thing. Oh, we got some cups here. We got some water sign energy. Well, this is, a lot of this is Scorpio. More cups. The heart of the matter is the Page of Cups, called Daughter of Cups in this deck. I love that shadow. I got this from another sign, and I was noting how beautiful that is. The Page of Cups is a card that's associated with kind of like the innocence of a child. Sometimes it can be something to do with the child as well. So again, talking about the 8th house, this could be some new agreement for child custody or not child custody, but child support. And so your focus is your child. And, so for some people that could be what is happening is the funding for the child. If you and an ex-partner are kind of hashing that out. Another possibility is that you have this kind of childlike acceptance and open heart, perhaps because of a new relationship. And, I do have several cups around here, so perhaps it is of the water element, which the cups represent. For you, Cancer is a big draw because you're both cardinal signs, and you might even meet in some kind of a career setting, work setting. The other water signs are Pisces, and which this card represents, and also Scorpio. And in the past position, we have the Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords, and that can even be a facet of you. If you fell in love with somebody and you just declared your love and you didn't even care, you just kind of came right out and said it, and then the other person, maybe they were shy and they returned the sentiment, and you're like on cloud 9 because it was kind of a gamble for you to do that. The Knight of Swords can be a lawyer. So if that has something to do with a divorce or a child support hearing and dealing with that, it could be also that. But we have a card here that's really great for just general peace and harmony related to family matters. The 10 of Cups. And this is also like happily ever after. So in some cases it may be that the Page of Cups is a new relationship that has formed, and perhaps it's a long time coming. Maybe it's something that you've wanted for a long time and your dreams finally came true. Perhaps you had to wait until you got the green light to be able to pursue this. But this may be something that makes you happy, but also makes members of your family. So if you're somebody who has been divorced, for instance, and you've met somebody new, your child also likes this person. And this is the higher message. So it could be saying that, you know, you may have had disappointments in the past, but this is a situation that feels much more compatible with you emotionally. And, you know, especially if you got married because you got pregnant or because you got somebody pregnant, you may have always felt that sense of resentment, that you felt kind of forced, coerced into it, and that it wasn't coming from something within yourself. And that can always, you know, that can kill a relationship before it even has a chance to start. What crosses you is the Eight of Swords. This is a card of the way that you talk to yourself. I usually think of Aries as a very positive sign, but Aries is human, and therefore Aries can be vulnerable in this area. Excuse me, I have to plug in my thing again because it's out. And also forgive me for the creaking of my chair. Sometimes it seems like the way I sit in it makes it more likely to creak. But anyway, something may be keeping you back from fully giving of yourself to a particular person, even if you really feel like this is the one. And if you are an Aries person who is like, I have no idea what this means, I'm not in a relationship with somebody, I'm happily married, this has no bearing on my life, then for you, this would be possibly a work situation where you feel like you're putting your heart and soul into whatever it is that you're doing. So, for instance, like a healing career. When with cups, I think of either a healing career or an artistic career, where it's not just about doing some kind of a task or service for somebody on the more mundane level, but it's like infusing your part of your soul into it. And with the Eight of Swords, there may still be things that kind of cloud your vision that keep you from fully receiving love or fully giving of that love that's inside of you to a client or to a partner. And this could come from trauma that is a long time ago. You know, I used to think of trauma as just like the most extreme situations, and now I realize trauma is just experiences that you have that you cannot really make sense of. And it doesn't have to be the most extreme situations. It can be, you know, things that some people might not even consider to be that big of a deal. But, you know, like for instance, having parents that get divorced, some children are almost relieved. Some children, it just sends them into this spiral of depression or anxiety. You know, every child is going to react to certain life changes differently. And these, you know, and even something that was not intended to create any kind of pain within the child can still be traumatic. So, really the things that you tell yourself, the kind of the things that trap you, and they're related to your thoughts. Like I say, I think that a lot of Aries people tend to be very positive overall, but everybody has their Achilles heel, that vulnerable part that they really are reactive over. So, it's not going to be 100% for everything. What's coming in is the Three of Cups. This is a lighthearted card. This could be about some kind of celebration. So if that Ten of Cups has anything to do with somebody going to propose to you and you're completely oblivious, and the Page of Cups is you're like just bopping along and you have no idea that this is happening, you could be celebrating this surprise announcement or proposal. Perhaps you are supporting somebody else that you know, maybe even like a sibling who's getting married, and the Ten of Cups could be the place that you meet a new love for yourself, and perhaps you're ready for it. I think what the Page of Cups is really saying is that your heart is open for love, but it's not, there still may be parts of yourself that kind of close down, as evidenced by the Eight of Swords, based on what you tell yourself. But overall, you might be ready to embrace new love in your life, and there may be a situation where this comes in, but there's a feeling of socializing and being and having a lot of fun, not a lot of heavy emotions, a lot of fun. And the outcome is Temperance, and this is about balance. And so it's like about, if you have come out of a situation that has been difficult, you might be like ready to just party down or, just celebrate. And then you come back and it's business as usual, where you have maintained a balance between your socializing and your everyday work productive life. And the other thing too is the Temperance card connects to Sagittarius, and so if there is someone that is a Sagittarius, now Sagittarius is a fire sign like you, that would certainly be a great match for you. With the Three of Cups, that could be where you meet this person, is through your friends, through going out and celebrating and having fun. But perhaps it's going to be that you're not going to go gaga too soon. You've learned your lesson. You've learned from the past, and you're going to maybe take it more slowly and soberly and approach your life that way. Because, Aries, fire, cardinal, first sign of the zodiac, ruled by Mars, you tend to just go all out and be very spontaneous and, devil may care, and sometimes it can be so great for you to have that quality where you just kind of do things on a whim and that they work out for you. And then sometimes it can be where you do something rashly, and then what do they say, something in leisure, repent in haste. I can't think of the first part, but you know what I mean. It's like you're acting spontaneously, and then it doesn't go out the way you want it to, and then you're like, oh, why did I do that? Now, even with children, a lot of, I would say probably the majority of children are conceived when the parent was not planning it in advance. And that doesn't mean that they're mistakes, but it can set up a dynamic that is less than, wonderful, where there's an underlying resentment, a feeling of being pushed into something, and that can definitely impact the relationship between the two people involved who conceived the child. And in some cases, they may not have even planned that they were going to be together or connected forever, but they are. And so it makes sense to really be intentional about the things that we do for obvious reasons like that. Okay, so I hope that you receive something from this, Aries. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. My website is rainamoonastrology.com. Take care. Bye.